Imagine drifting through the Atlantic, miles from land, when you spot a ship slowly bobbing in the waves. No distress signals, no signs of life, just silence. You call out, no answer. You board her, and what you find is something out of a nightmare. This is the mystery of the Mary Celeste, a ghost ship discovered in 1872, completely abandoned, yet untouched. It was December 4, 1872, a cold and misty morning on the Atlantic. The DEI Gracia, a British brig, was making her way near the Azores, a remote cluster of islands in the vast Atlantic Ocean, when her crew spotted something unusual, a vessel drifting aimlessly in the distance. Her sails were torn and flapping in the wind, and she seemed oddly out of control, as if abandoned to the elements. The mysterious ship was soon identified as the Mary Celeste, an American merchant brigantine known for her sturdy build. When the DEI Gracia crew cautiously boarded her, they were stunned by what they found. The ship was completely seaworthy, floating steadily and showing no signs of sinking or major damage. Her valuable cargo of industrial alcohol was still intact, untouched in the hold. There was no sign of a struggle anywhere on board, and no evidence of a recent storm or rough weather. Even the crew's personal belongings were untouched. Food still sat on the table, and the ship's logbook ended abruptly, just 9 days earlier, as if life had suddenly stopped. But there was one major problem that no one could explain. The captain, his wife, their 2-year-old daughter, and 7 crew members, 10 people in total, were gone. They had vanished without a trace. The only thing missing from the Mary Celeste? The ship's lifeboat, leaving behind a mystery that would baffle the world for generations. The Mary Celeste had departed from New York City on November 7, 1872, headed for Genoa, Italy. On board was Captain Benjamin Briggs, an experienced, respected sailor, along with his wife Sarah and their young daughter Sophia. The rest of the crew were hand-picked by Briggs himself. These weren't reckless drifters or unskilled hands. This was a seasoned crew with every reason to arrive safely. But just 1 month later they had completely disappeared without a trace. No bodies were ever found. No one ever returned. So, what happened to the Mary Celeste? Over the last 150 years, theories have ranged from the plausible to the paranormal. Some say pirates were responsible, but that doesn't quite add up. Nothing was stolen, not the cargo, not valuables, not even the crew's personal belongings. What kind of pirate leaves behind a ship full of expensive alcohol? Others suggest mutiny. Maybe the crew turned on Captain Briggs, murdered the family, and tried to escape. But again, there were no signs of violence, no blood, no broken items. And why would mutineers abandon a perfectly good ship? Then there are the wilder ideas. Sea monsters, krakens, the Bermuda Triangle, even though the Azores are actually far from it. While these make great stories, there's not a shred of evidence for any of them. One of the most convincing scientific theories about the Mary Celeste centers around her mysterious cargo. Barrels of industrial alcohol stored deep within the ship's hold. Some believe that over time dangerous fumes built up inside the ship's hold, filling the air with a strong, unsettling odor. This could have created a real fear among the crew of a possible explosion at any moment. The crew, gripped by panic and uncertainty, might have decided to abandon ship temporarily, lowering the lifeboat and tying it to the Mary Celeste by rope, fully expecting to return once the danger had passed. But if that rope snapped in rough seas or strong winds, they would have been left stranded, lost at sea with no way back, watching helplessly as their ship drifted farther and farther away without them. This theory explains the lack of damage to the ship, the missing lifeboat, and why the crew might have left so quickly, leaving everything behind in their rush to escape. Others suggest a sudden natural event, a rogue wave or a waterspout, could have startled the crew into abandoning ship. But again, the Mary Celeste was found in decent condition. Would an experienced captain really abandon ship without dire cause? Every theory ends the same way, we just don't know. What makes the Mary Celeste so haunting isn't just the mystery, it's the human element, the real people behind the legend. 10 people, men, women, and a child, were erased without a trace, their lives interrupted in an instant. No wreckage, no bodies, no final words or desperate messages left behind. It's the ultimate vanishing act, a disappearance that defies explanation. And because it happened so close to normality, food on the table, cargo untouched, it feels eerily deliberate, as if planned, as if they stepped out of time, leaving only questions behind. Even today, sailors consider it one of the ocean's greatest enigmas, a story that haunts the waves, the kind of story that lingers in your mind long after you've heard it, refusing to let go. A reminder that the sea, vast and deep, keeps its secrets well, hidden beneath the waves. The Mary Celeste was eventually returned to service, but its legacy was sealed, a ghost ship adrift in history, carrying a question no one has ever been able to answer. So the next time you look out at the endless blue horizon, remember, some ships come home, and some just drift forever.